Hi, my name is Ariel. What's your name?
Stephanie.
Hi, Steph. I'm good. I'm a peer counselor working under faculty supervision. I have 1 semester of training. I will be here till the end of the semester. You can meet with me once a week if you'd like for 30 minutes each. I'm under faculty supervision, so if you speak of harming, everything you say is confidential. However, if you speak of harming yourself, harming others, or if you cannot take care of yourself, I will have to break that confidentiality. You have the right to refuse treatment. Do you have any questions?
No.
Who brings you in today?
Well, I've been having some trouble with my boyfriend. We just got into a relationship, and like he doesn't want me to hang out with my friends at all, and that's a big problem for me because my friends are like my family, and he basically wants to like remove that element that I already have with my friends. So that makes me a little worried about the relationship.
Okay, and how long have you guys been together?
We've been together like 6 months.
Was he like this in the beginning?
No, he really liked my friends. Like we would like go out and hang out and everything would be okay. But then after like an event or something, he'd be like, "Oh, your friends are ridiculous." So he doesn't want to really like hang out anymore, interact with them.
Did he elaborate? What does he mean by the ridiculous thing that they do?
He says that they're too like childish, and I always explain to him that we're young and we're entitled to be childish sometimes. But the way he sees it is like, no, like this is way too childish, and you shouldn't be hanging out with them.
Is he older than you?
No, we're actually the same age.
Okay, so you guys are the same age, but when he hangs out with you and your friends, he feels like your friends are too childish.
Yeah.
And that worries you for the future because he doesn't want you to hang out with. Does he not? I'm sorry. Does he not want you to hang out with any of your friends or no one at all?
Just my friends. And because me and my friends have like a good bond, like we've been friends for years and they basically became family. So I guess he doesn't want me to like have that relationship with them anymore, but they're a huge part of my life and I feel like I can't give that up for that relationship.
Okay, and how does he feel about you hanging out with his friends? Is that acceptable?
He doesn't really have any friends because he's a type loner, but he has like 1 or 2 friends, not many. He's introduced me, but it wasn't like we hang out all the time type of thing, like he does with my friends. Like we just be together for like an hour or something and then that's it.
Okay. And how long have you been friends with the friends that you co-family?
We've been friends for about 10 years. We knew each other since we were little, and we like lived in the same neighborhood. So we go to each other's house like constantly, and I feel like that's not a bond that I'm willing to break because I am friends with them for 10 years, and then I'm only been in this relationship for 6 months. So it's like I don't want to give up my friends, but then again I don't want to give up my boyfriend either.
And how long have you known him?
Prior to our relationship, I knew him for like a year, and then we got into a relationship, so like a year and a half.
And when you explain to him what your friends are doing that he thinks is childish, does he explain back to you why he feels it's childish?
I mean, he thinks that their childishness might lead me to like cheat on him because they do like to like go out, have fun and things like that. And he finds that childish. I also enjoy the things that they enjoy, but I'm not gonna cheat on him like he thinks I will.
And what things are those? What do you guys like to do when you go out?
Well, sometimes we go clubbing. We go to parties a lot, bars. On a chill day, we just like play board games at somebody's house. But he feels like those events will cause me to cheat on somebody that's like either in my friend circle or somebody that's like around.
And is he only like that with your friends, or because to me he seems jealous? Would you agree with that?
Yes, I do agree with that.
Okay. Do you think he's jealous just with your friends, or is he jealous like in general?
I mean, I haven't really had a problem with him when it came to like classmates and things like that. I mean, like if I had a project with somebody and I had to like stay late or whatever, he never had a problem with that because it was school. but he only seems to have a problem with my friends.
Okay, so you said he only has a problem when it's your friends, but if it's with school, it's okay.
Yeah.
So what if you hang out with your friends for something for school? Like say you guys have a big project or you want to hang out for something that has to do with school. Would that be an issue for him?
Yes, it will, because he'd probably think I'd be lying that we're doing schoolwork and actually like goofing off doing something else. So he would be he wouldn't really trust me on that aspect.
And how does it make you feel when he tells you that he doesn't like your friends because they're childish? Does it make you feel like he thinks we're childish?
It makes me feel hurt because they've been in my life for so long. And when he says things like that, I feel like he's hurting my family. Like I'm very protective of people. And when he says something about someone that I consider my family, it really hurts me. But I still want to be with him at the same time.
Have you let him know that your friends are like your family and that it does hurt that he speaks badly about them?
Yeah, he does know that, but he doesn't really care. He feels like his opinion is valid and that I should really pay attention to what he says and not anything that like I'm thinking.
When you are home with him, does he ever find another issue to fight with you about?
Other issues, not really. He checks my social media sometimes, I guess to see what I'm doing with my friends. And we usually like get in a fight about that because like I'm very about privacy. And he's just like, oh, we should be able to be open and like see each other's things, but I'm just like, no. And when I say no, he thinks I don't trust him, and then we get in a fight.
So privacy is important to you, is what I'm hearing.
Yes.
And is privacy important to him as well? Like if you turned the tables and wanted to check his social media, would that be an issue for him?
He said it was fine. He says like he wants a like a free flowing relationship where like we both could like go into each other's account and like check whatever. He says that. I guess I have to believe it since he said it, but I haven't really tried that.
If you were to try it out, if you were to ask him, hey, can I have your phone? Could you unlock everything? Could I see it all? And he said, sure. Would that maybe make you feel a little better about showing him yours, or are you just, no, I like my privacy, we're not married?
Yeah, I'm very about privacy. Even if I was married, I'm still very about my privacy. I feel like you should trust me when it comes to things like this because we are in a relationship. But he wouldn't take that. Like I'm very about privacy, but he's not.
So does him wanting to see your social media make you feel like he doesn't trust you?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like if you don't think anything's going on, then why are you checking my social media? There's no reason for you to check my social media.
And have you guys had this conversation before?
Yeah, we like end up fighting because I see him checking my social media to see if I'm like going to events with my friends, and he just says, "Oh, I don't like that you're going to like this and event." I'm like, the event's not even yet, and like you're already fighting about it. So.
Okay. And if you had to choose between your friends or your boyfriend, who would you choose?
I mean, it'll be a tough decision. I've had these friends for like 10 years. I do consider them family. And I've only known this guy for like a year and a half. But it'd still be a tough decision. Like I wouldn't know who to pick.
What is it about him that it makes it hard for you to pick between him and your friends?
Well, he's like the first person that I've really been with. I guess that's something that why I want like a long lasting relationship. That's what I envision for myself, like a marriage and children and everything. I think I could see that with him. That's why I think I'm staying with him this long. Yeah.
You said that you think you want that with him and you think that's why you're staying, but how do you feel about it?
I feel like I love him just for the fact that it's my longest relationship and everything. And I feel like the emotions are there. But then when he does stuff like that, he doesn't really care. So, yeah.
Okay, and if you had to look about 5 years into the future, do you think it would hurt you more to not have your friends or your family there, or not have him there?
I don't think I could look that far. I mean, like, my friends have been in my life for 10 years, and I can't picture myself without them. And I've only had this guy for like 6 months, so it's like, I wouldn't know how, like, what the future would hold. I don't know, like, future problems that might get in the way of either relationships. I just don't know.
Have you ever had any fights or problems with your friends?
I mean, I guess over petty stuff, like someone didn't come to like someone's birthday or something like that. We haven't really had like a huge fight, like anything that would like break up our friendship. Not that I could think of, no.
So in the last 10 years, you have yet to have any really big fights that's like been detrimental to the relationships?
Not like groundbreaking fights, no.
And have any of your friends experienced this with any of their significant others?
Well, no. Most of my friends are like single and they're like party people. They said that this relationship isn't good for me, so sometimes I listen to them, sometimes I don't, and then they're like, oh, why don't you listen? Like, this guy is not good for you. He's trying to like break us up. And then I don't know. It just feels like they're jealous and then he's jealous and then we never get anywhere.
Okay, so you're having issues with your relationship because your boyfriend feels that your friends are childish and he doesn't really want you to hang out with them. And when you try to speak with him about it, you guys get into arguments. He doesn't really have friends of his own to hang out with, and your friends are single party people, and maybe that's why he feels you're gonna cheat on him. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And do you also feel like maybe because your friends are single party people that they kind of want to pull you back in with them?
I mean, they're single party people, but I feel like for relationships, they're really respectful. Like, each of us has had a relationship like throughout the years, and we've all been very respectful of like each other's significant others. We've never really tried to like pull anyone back into like the party scene or anything. They're really supportive when it comes to things like that, but when they see something like what's happening to me, they're not supportive anymore.
Okay, so even though they are party people and they're single and they like to have fun, they respect the relationship and they don't try to pull you away from him.
Yeah.
So everything that's in his head, it's really not happening.
No.
Because he thinks that, oh, you're gonna party with them and you're gonna get phone numbers and you're gonna do all these things. But they're very respectful of the relationship.
Yeah, and he doesn't understand that. Like, he'd talk to him and then he'd get into fights with them for like no reason. Like, he'd be like, oh, you're gonna take my girlfriend to like go cheat or whatever. And that's offensive to my friends because they're not really like that. They really respect the relationship.